Hey guys, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my top 23 books of 2023. I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy to pick out these 23 books. I had like 17 or 18 and I was like happy with that. And those last like 5 or 6 that I had to find were a struggle. I could not decide what books I wanted to talk about. This video is also probably going to be a little repetitive to my 5-star reads video. This year was my first year really being back into reading, and so you've seen me talk about probably every single one of these books on my channel before. So I just wanted to give a little fair warning, but I'm not doing this in any particular order. We're just going to pick books. There's definitely multiples from some series because those are like my ride or die series, but that's what we're gonna do today. So with all that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon wishlist. And let's get into my top 23 books of 2023. So like I mentioned, we're just gonna kind of jump around. I'm just gonna kind of grab books, tell you why they're in my top 23, and move on. I'm really bad at explaining books, and I don't really want to read like the whole synopsis of every single book, so we're just gonna speed run this, honestly. This first one, literally 5-star read. This book like changed my life. I absolutely need to reread this book because it is so beautiful. The quotes in it are absolutely stunning, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I loved this book. I honestly read this at a really rough time in my life, and it really helped me get through some of the things I was going through. I related to the main character Harriet on another level. Like, just her words are so beautiful. Emily Henry knows what she's doing. This book was just stunning. Like, it was literally everything. I wish that I fully annotated my copy. I did not. I did like highlight and underline a few things here or there, but this book was literally everything. Like, I can't even explain how beautiful the quotes are in this book. The love story is just amazing, and I highly recommend reading Happy Place by Emily Henry. Like, it's just stunning, and I don't even know what else to say. I love it. Like I said, I'm really bad at explaining books, so I'm not even gonna try. But this Second Chance Romance, everything. Highly recommend. Next is my most recent read, and it's also my most recent 5-star. I feel like I am going to just turn into one of these girlies the deeper into the series I get, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book, I don't know what drugs are in between these pages, but I ate this up. Oh my god, it's literally so good. I have the full series right back there, and then I also have like the whole series on my Kindle, so that's where I've been reading it. I read Assassin's Blade first. I'm going to recommend to read it that way. I feel like it's the most, I don't know, I haven't gotten farther than Throne of Glass. I've only gotten 2 books in, but I could already tell that reading Assassin's Blade first made me connect to the characters so much more. It just made everything just marry together, and I understood what was going on. And I love the female MC, which is Selena, and it's so good so far. I cannot wait to see where the series takes me. I cannot wait to get deeper into the Massiverse, and this is just so freaking good. Highly recommend. Alright, this is actually one of the very first books I read this year, and that's Better Than the Movies by Linn Painter. This is a cutesy little YA rom-com. Super cute. There's lots of quotes from movies in here, like super popular rom-com movies in here. There's ones from 10 Things I Hate About You, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Love Actually. Like this one says, if you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around. So this is just a cutesy little one. I definitely need to get more books from Linn Painter. This is the only one I have, and I feel like I would really enjoy some of her other books. I think she has a new book coming out in 2024, so we'll see. But this was really good. I highly recommend. Super cute. I literally read it in one sitting. These next two kind of go hand in hand. So that is Icebreaker and Wildfire, both by Hannah Grace. Icebreaker is the first book in the series. This is the indie edition of the book, so the series isn't called this anymore. And so then this is the like traditionally published. So Icebreaker is more, it's like rivals to lovers, and then this one is like summer camp. They were both really cute. They're in the same series. They follow the same characters. There's some found family between the friendships in here. It's super cute, super sweet. I think I gave them both 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed these. I loved the main female MC in Wildfire specifically because she struggles with like anxiety and being a people pleaser and stuff, and so I was able to connect to that, and I really loved the quotes in here. And Russ was just like the cutest little puppy dog. And then this one is, I feel like, more golden retriever black cat vibes. I believe it's Nate and Stassi. Nate is very just golden retriever. He's like obsessed with her, and she's just more like, this isn't a good idea, like I don't want to be involved, and she's just got a lot of attitude. So these are really good. Love me some hockey romance. Highly recommend this series if you've never read it before. Next we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This I read because it was a Sarah Caroli recommendation, and I enjoyed this. This was a second chance romance, college. There's past and present perspective. There is like a huge plot twist towards the end, which had me shook. I think I read this in like 1 or 2 days. Super quick and easy. Based in New York, also based at NYU. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. I loved it, honestly. I thought it was super good. It's really hard to try to explain it because the synopsis, like, it's not actually a synopsis. It's something important from the book. So with that being said, highly recommend. Really good little second chance romance. We are now going to talk about Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So this was not a book that came to my mind initially, but as I was looking back on my reading year and I was really looking at my Goodreads to try and pick my 23 books, this one ended up standing out amongst some of the others that didn't make this video. But this is a enemies to lovers romantasy, and if you don't know what a romantasy is, it's fantasy romance. There is a lot of angst and built up tension and banter between Peyton and Kai, which are the two main characters. Peyton is an ordinary and Kai is an elite, and he's also almost kind of like an assassin. He's the prince, and I think he is like the enforcer or something, and so he's supposed to kill all ordinaries. And there's this like challenge thing, and Peyton and Kai both end up being in it, and they go against each other. And like I said, I'm really bad at explaining books, but this was really good. I know Sarah Caroli loved it. I believe I gave it 4.25 stars, so I really enjoyed it. But I am very excited for Reckless to come out, which is the next one, because I feel like I have so many questions, and I'm really hoping that that next book will answer all of these things that I just don't understand. I feel like there's just like hidden holes all over the place, and I need them to be filled with some information. So I enjoyed this. I recommend it, but I do have other fantasies in here that I loved a lot more. One of my other favorites of the year was Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is the Playing for Keeps series. This is a hockey romance series. You will see I love a good hockey or sports romance book. Those are just like my favorite tropes. But this one is super cute. It's about Carter and Olivia are the two main characters. Carter Beckett is like one of the biggest players ever, both in hockey and outside of the rink. He is just a little, let's say, man whore. Honestly, that's what he is. And he falls for Olivia. It's boy falls first. And I feel like the book is definitely longer than necessary. The third act breakup I was not a fan of. I did not like that. I felt like it was so cliche and just so unnecessary. Like, you could have picked almost any other third act breakup and I would have been more satisfied. But I believe I gave this 4 or 4.25 stars. I did enjoy it. I do plan on continuing the series. There are some beautiful quotes in here. It is a little bit cheesy from time to time, but you kind of just have to like get over that. Like, I feel like a lot of smutty romance books can be really cheesy at the same time, so that is something just to be considerate of. But I really did enjoy this and I do plan on continuing the series eventually. Next, I have Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the third book in the Addicted series. This was my favorite out of the series that I've gotten to so far. I've only read this far, so I'm only 3 books in. But I did really enjoy this read. I thought it was really, really good. This series is about Lily and Lo, and they both have addictions. Lo is addicted to alcohol and Lily is addicted to sex. And they try to enable each other to hide these addictions from their loved ones and their families and stuff. But it's really, really good. I can't tell you too much about this book specifically. I gave this one, I believe, 4.5 stars, but I really did enjoy it and I am excited to eventually continue the series. I would love to do that sometime soon because I haven't touched the series in months. But this was really, really good, and this series is now on KU. The rest of the books I'm going to talk about are like my top tiers of the year. All of the ones I've talked about so far, other than like Happy Place and Throne of Glass, are more of like honorable mentions for my top 23. But the rest of these are like my ride or dies. I literally think about these books on a daily basis. I think about the quotes, I think about the characters. Like, they are just my everything. So I feel like we should start off with the obvious here, and I do have 3 books from the series that we are going to be discussing. And the first one is Akamov. The fact that I read this book this year actually baffles me because I feel like I read this series years ago. This is my first read of 2023, and can you tell how giddy I am and how much I love the series? Like, I literally have 3 different versions of the series. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what is. But I literally love this so much. I love Feyre and I love Horizon, and it's so good. Oh my god. 10,000 freaking stars for this book. It is just, it's amazing. Definitely in my top favorites of the series. So freaking good. I highly recommend reading ACOTAR if you haven't already. I went into the series blind, and I recommend going into the series blind, obviously. I just feel like there's just so much. Like, there's so much happens that you never, it's, no words. No words. Next. ACOTAR! This is my favorite book in the entire series, which might shock some people because a lot of people's favorite is Akamov, but mine is ACOTAR. I love the politics. There was this one part in this book that broke me. These books make me literally so emotional. I have such a strong connection with these characters. They're like my children. I love them. Like, I literally feel like I'm a part of the Night Court. Like, just live, laugh, love. So good. Literally my everything. I cannot stress enough how much I love this series and how much I absolutely adore these characters. You seriously need to read it if you haven't. Like, if you haven't read it, I don't really know what you're doing, but get on it. Like, buy the books, read them on your Kindle, paperback, hardcover, I don't care. All 3 even. You need to read the series. And then, of course, I also have to mention A Court of Silver Flames. This one is about Nesta and Cassian, which are 2 other characters from the ACOTAR series. So they like got their own books. I feel like eventually there are going to be a lot of other characters who get their own books. I have heard that she has to write like 3 more ACOTAR books, I think. She like signed that with, I think Bloomsbury is her publisher. But love this. So good. Super smutty. Honestly, this book is a brick and a half. It's so heavy, but it's so good and I highly recommend. This next one literally shaped me into the woman I am, and that is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This fucking book, I literally can't go into this. I can't tell you anything other than the male love interest is everything, and this book literally destroyed me, ripped my heart into shreds, then ran it over with like a bus a couple of times, and then drowned it in a bathtub, and then electrocuted it, and like my heart shattered, gone, literally died, screaming, crying, throwing up. So fucking good. Literally a million stars. This is an infinity star book for me. I recommend this to absolutely anyone. If you don't have this book, please buy it, please read it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good, and it's so heartbreaking, but I can't. Oh my god, these next ones, guys. How could I not talk about Boys of Tommen? Did you really think that I like forgot about my baby Joey and Johnny and Shannon and Aoife? Come on. Come on, guys. We knew better. So, the first two are Binding and Keeping 13. These ones are about Johnny and Shannon. They're super, super emotional. Please check the trigger warnings before you get into this series. There are bullying, like severe abuse, verbal, physical. There's a lot of really fucked up shit that happens in these books, and you need to read them. Like, you need to read them. And I am so happy that I have these covers, because I love these covers so much. I have like a special place in my heart for them, and you can't get them anymore. So I love these books so much. They're so, so good. These are like infinity stars. And then also we have Saving 6. I have not gotten to Redeeming 6 yet, but I will very soon. This one is about Shannon's brother Joey and his girlfriend Aoife, and they are like childhood friends to lovers, but Joey has issues, guys. Like, man has some issues, and they're just, these books are amazing. Please read the series if you haven't. Please check trigger warnings before you do. But these are amazing. I highly recommend. They will absolutely shatter your soul. This next one is like the first dark romance I have ever read, and I loved it. That is the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. This series is so good. It's technically 5 books put into one, but I just counted it all as one book. You can read them individually. They are on KU. Highly recommend. So good. I think 3 out of the 5 books were 5 stars for me. So it's a 5-star series, absolutely. This one is about a serial killer and an FBI agent who fall in love, but the FBI agent is literally on the hunt for this serial killer who he's already dating. So good. Literally a masterpiece. Check trigger warnings. There are some very deep, dark things that happen to the female MC in this book, but I highly recommend. So, so good. This next one is so amazing. Literally, this book made me feel so many like warm, ooey, gooey feelings, and that is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I loved this book. I cannot wait for Ruthless Vows to come out literally in like 2 weeks. Wow, that's crazy. Where did the year go? I'm genuinely so stoked and excited. I loved this series so much. It's a beautiful romance with hints of fantasy. I feel like this is more in the romance genre more than it is in the fantasy genre. That's just a personal opinion. I loved this. The quotes are beautiful. The romance in here is absolutely stunning. It's like not academic rivals, but workplace rivals, 2 lovers. So good. I cannot recommend this enough. I feel like everyone needs to read this book, and the quotes in here are stunning. Like, Rebecca Ross, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to write beautiful words, so highly recommend. Next is one that changed the game for honestly so many readers this year, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is so amazing. I did read Iron Flame, but I personally loved this one so much more. This book is stunning. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is a fantasy with romance, and it's about this girl named Violet, and she is supposed to be a scribe, which is basically like the knowledgeable ones, but her mother is like the captain, and she forces her to go into the writer's quadrant. And basically, if you're a writer, either you make it through your schooling or you die. That is the only ways out. And Violet just is thrown into this world that she knows nothing about and she wasn't trained for, and she ends up meeting somebody who is just everything, and I love him. But that is all I'm going to say. Highly recommend. I am very excited for the series to continue. I do feel like Iron Flame was more of like a filler book. Like, it wasn't a big plot point book. The ending of Iron Flame absolutely broke me. Shattered my freaking soul. But so good. Highly recommend reading if you have not already. Next, we have two more from another series, and that is The Ballad of Never After and A Curse for True Love. I love these books literally so much. I am so obsessed with Jax from the series. So good. This is a YA fantasy romance. It is closed door, very fairy tale-esque, very like Once Upon a Time. You know, it's not hard to understand. These are super simple concepts. If you've never read fantasy before, I feel like this is like the perfect place to start. This is kind of like a companion series to Caraval. The main male character in these, Jax, is discussed and talked about in the Caraval series. You do not have to read Caraval before you read these. It will not affect your understanding of the world. I haven't read Caraval, and I don't know if I'm going to, because I've heard for a lot of people it wasn't worth reading before you were able to get to these. But Stephanie Garber is a genius. She's amazing. I love her. These books are everything, and I really do recommend them. They're just so sweet and good, and there's no spice or anything like that. It's a beautiful story, and I love these characters so much. The last two books I did not anticipate on loving nearly as much as I did when I initially picked up the series, but that is the Players series by Monica Murphy. So I have the second and third one. I chose those two for my top 23. The first one was super good, but these ones just hit different for me. The first one just really like grasped my attention on the series, and then these two like solidified my love for it. This one specifically, there is Taylor Swift references throughout this series, which, if you don't know, I'm literally insane. But just let's talk about the dedication for this book. I need to thank Taylor Swift for Folklore. I've written a lot of books or songs from this album, and now those songs leave me in an emotional wreck. Mad Woman helped me nail down a scene in this book, and I needed that. So thanks, Taylor. So you have Playing by the Rules and Playing to Win, and the first one is Playing for Keeps. And I literally love them. These boys are absolutely written by a woman, and I could not be more grateful for that, because God, are they freaking amazing. So good. I highly recommend. These are college football romances. There's different tropes throughout the series. You have like brother's best friend, forbidden romance a little bit, and then the first one I believe is like tutor versus student. Like, so good. They're so good. There's golden retriever boys, black cat girls, there's boy falls first, there's a boy obsessed. Like, they're just so good. I highly recommend reading this series if you haven't already. But these are smutty. They're not closed doors, so keep that in mind. But I love them so much. Okay guys, that was my top 23 books for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was so hard to pick my books. I do plan on doing a video about every single book I read in 2023, so look out for that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what some of your favorite books of the year were down below. Let me know maybe you're like your top 3 or your top 5. But yeah, without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon wish list. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!